We need to understand we cannot make disciples unless we ourselves are moving by the Spirit of God. And what that means and how we do that is our time with God. It's not only about sympathy, it's about empathy. Jesus walked with empathy and sympathy. To sympathize is to bring forth your words as words of encouragement. But to empathize, which is so important, we begin to walk in another's shoe. In other words, we carry the burden that the Lord has for another. And we can only carry that burden if we ourselves are vessels that are able to carry that. And you're only able to carry the burden that God places on you, not what the world gives to you. And God can only place that burden in you if you are able to. You are able to because you are walking by the Spirit. To make disciples, we've got to walk by His Spirit. We cannot just go out there and make disciples. The disciples, the early disciples, had to wait for the outpouring of the Holy Spirit before they went out. And that is what God's people need to understand at this time. Or we can make an impact in the world. We've got to find the purpose and the plan that God has for our lives. And the question still remains, how do we find that purpose? It's there. That heavenly purpose, that seeking after God first, brings forth the personal or the purpose that God has for your life. And that's when you can go out there and make an impact. And so what's the conclusion of all of this? The conclusion is your relationship with God, my relationship with God. We must be consecrated to God. And we got to ask ourselves, are we moving by the Spirit, or we are moving by what the media says, or we are moving by what people say? And you can only find the answer to that if you are walking by the Spirit, because it's the Spirit that will give you the answer that you need. That becomes the turning point of our lives and on the journey that we have been purposed to walk. It's a journey with God for us to make an impact out there in the world.